We had just such a lovely experience raising our first child and watching her grow and develop. And I'm so happy. The one thing that is given to you when you become a mother or a father are your parental intuitions about your child. That is a priceless gift given to you just out of the blue when you become a parent, is knowing to do what's best for your child. And only you know what's best for your child. And so I would go to say, it doesn't hurt to go get these evaluations done, because they are priceless. The information that these people have that you can't possibly be given as instantly as your intuition is given to you about being a parent. You can't possibly read. I guess you could, because I read a lot of books when we were pregnant to make sure that I was going to do everything right by Sloan, but you can't possibly know everything, and that's what these people are out there for. They're out there to help you, and in at the least, they'll tell you your child is fine. And you were right, and everything's fine, and you can go about your business, but if they catch something that you possibly couldn't have seen, and it's not any fault of your own, you're just not in that profession, or you're not equipped to acknowledge those things in your child, how wonderful it is that someone out there, well, you said this to me when we found out, I'm so happy that someone out there cares about this and has done all the work and cares about the situation that Sloan is in and is willing to give us the information. It was the clouds parted right away.
Well, and what's fascinating to me is we've been actively engaged in the process of therapy with Sloan for 10 weeks, and she's a different little girl. And without going through the process and without taking a chance, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Mm-mm.
And
so I would say, if you have the slightest inclination that there could just be some remote chance that something is not quite right, it's not going to hurt to go get it checked. It's just not. It is priceless. It was truly priceless, and I'm so happy that we found who we found, and that there's a whole community out there willing to take the time to do the research, to do the work, and to share it with us, because it's changed everything. And our whole family is different. And I'm not talking about the three of us, our family. I mean, our extended family is different. And now, because of it, I can't even tell you this, how many people have said, oh my gosh, because Sloan was that when you say autism and we don't think autism, I have several people in different groups who have talked to their friends about their kids who aren't talking yet, and they're going, wait a minute, that kind of sounds like Sloan. And I said, it's just not going to hurt anything to go get them evaluated. And most parents, the mainstream thought of their child is, we just want to do what's best for them. This is one of them. This is truly one of those things that you do. And it's all, and the one part that we skipped was I went out and I was at the stage at about week 2 of therapy where I just wanted anyone who had anything to say about autism to talk to me and give me the information. I didn't care what angle they were coming from. I wanted to hear it and see if it worked for us. And I got some really far out there thoughts about why Sloan had autism and what I could do to change it and cure it and make it better. And again, I came home and I told Paul what had been told to me, that someone thought it was environmental, and that basically my job in the dental profession had exposed her to high levels of mercury and radiation, and so it was almost putting it on me, like I had done this to my child. And the only thing I knew at that moment when I was sitting in that office with this professional was, the one thing I know for sure is that I'm not responsible for giving this to my child. I know without a doubt, and I'm sure. Now mind you, as I say this, I do know that there are children out there and people, adults, who have sensitive systems to metals and to diet and to other things. and it works for them to change those elements in their environment to make them healthier. But it just wasn't fitting for Sloan or for us. We had no other indications that this child needed her environment changed in any way. Good eater, good sleeper, no skin irritations, no allergies. There was literally none of the other things were conducive to me changing her life. Now, if we find out that they are through blood tests, which we've had done and we're waiting on the results, we had an EEG done on her, 6-hour study, because we learned after research that some seizures are undetectable. They're not seizures that when I say seizure, you think of physically seeing someone going into convulsions, but we found out that some seizures are so low on the Richter scale that they can happen while they sleep. And that sometimes these are related to speech delays. Well, if that's a possibility, then I want to know, because I don't want my child sleeping, having seizures. She can't tell me, and I can't watch her through all of her sleep hours to know if she's having a seizure or not.
Wow.
So, remember, she's never been hospitalized other than bringing her home from the hospital. To voluntarily take my healthy child that I know into a hospital so they can slightly sedate her to check her brainwave activity. Oh, but it's what I knew we needed to do. I want to know. I want to know what I need to do. I want to make her better. I want to help her. When I came home that night when Paul came home, as soon as he found out what was wrong, he came home right away. And he said, Melinda, nothing's changed about how we want to raise Sloan. We still, the goal is still the same. We want to give her the best life we can. That was before the diagnosis. Now that we have the diagnosis, the only difference is we have to deal with this issue now. We still want to give her the best life she can possibly have. That hasn't changed. It's still the same. It was sort of that, and you hear the mother say, it was the shattering of the future. It was the letting go of the hopes and dreams you had of your child. And it's so weird because that's exactly how I felt. And then when Paul said that to me, I thought, he's right. I still want to do the same thing. It's just going to be on a different playground.
This is the whole experience of my life, that you get involved in marriage, business, parenthood, any of these things, and none of them are like you imagine them to be, and all of them are more difficult than you imagine they would be, but all of them are better.
Yeah.